All right, everybody. Welcome to week 7 for Six Sigma's Road Winter League here at Road America. It'll be an absolute blast tonight. Stacked field, lots and lots and lots of fun drivers out there tonight. Familiar faces. It'll be a great time. Only 2 races left this season, and this is one of them. Got tonight, and then next week on Tuesday we have Mount Fuji to wrap up this championship. All right. Speaking of championships, Corey, currently leading the championship, deciding to go with the BMW tonight. His very colorful 21 machine. Looking like he's going to do very well last time I checked, and he still is. Yep, on top of the boards, just beating out Tiago by about 0.2 seconds, about 2/10. They are the only ones of the 204 club. Kerry Brooks desperately trying to get in with his 205.003. These cards are getting a little bit loud, aren't they? Turn them down just a little bit. There we go. That's not quite so loud. So we're going to have a little driver's brief really quick with these guys. I'm going to switch to a pit lane view just to kind of get my focus. I'm following somebody. If they start to crash or something, I'm so involved in what's happening. All right, guys. So we got a couple minutes left here before qualifying starts. So I was just going to hop on really quick and say a few things about tonight's race before it gets started. So welcome to week 7 here at Road America. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. This is a great track, and it couldn't have been raced by a better group of drivers. So I'm really excited to see you guys get out there and tear it up tonight and have a lot of fun. The usual. So you've got your singular, or no, you've got unlimited fast repairs, and you've got your one pit stop requirement for the feature. Heat 1 will be the 15-minute race. That's the stage for the feature after qualifying. The only big concern I would have for tonight is a lot of zones where cars will end up getting loose and maybe having issues would be in sections where the track is it's a little bit of a blind corner. So really make sure that you're paying attention to your black boxes. After last week at Rockingham, I no longer trust iRacing to throw yellow flags for anything. If you do spin in a bad spot and you're afraid for drivers coming up behind you, courtesy call out is always nice. I will try my best, but there are, I believe, 16 of you, and this track is very big, so the likelihood of me catching it in time for it to matter is slim to none. But yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything, please feel free to reach out here as we are in our final minute here before qualifying. Next step is in time for it to matter. Oh, there's my voice. God, I sound terrible. And then I cough. Eh. Okay, whoops. Oh, just barges itself in there, man. Anything, if iRacing on a single monitor, man, anything that even touches the side of that panel should immediately go into its windowed mode. It panics. It's very funny. Guys, it is now qualifying. Good luck. You get 3 laps. Make sure one of them counts is my only advice. Constant trick. And guys go out there and they want to set a really fast time, but the problem will be go out there, on your first lap and you're pushing a little bit too hard and it invalidates. Go on to the second lap and now you think, man, I really got to set my fastest lap now, and it invalidates. And then you're on your third and final lap and you got to believe that, oh man, I've only got one more lap left. Well, I got to make this amazing. So you push really hard and you go off track and it invalidates. So step one, get a time. Always get a time. Um, Especially on the first lap, if you've got three, because then you can start getting faster on the second one. We'll say that in oval all the time. You've only got your 2 laps, and they're very quick hitting. So you always want to make sure to go for gold on that. Let's go ahead and actually follow a car here. Here's a great car to follow. Leighton Norgard, the number 12 Lamborghini, driving his ledge.gg machine or his tanks.gg machine, whatever one you want. He's got 2 sponsors on there, and they both look awesome, and the design and everything on this car is incredible. Almost incredible as the skill of the driver wielding it. Leighton has had a heck of a season. Um, Honestly, there's been a couple races this season where he has finished a lot farther back than I think he should have, due to incidents that have happened on the track that, maybe sometimes were his fault, maybe sometimes weren't. It's like last week, him and Logan Key got into it a little bit at Daytona. I mean, they didn't really get into it. Logan missed his braking point and knocked the rear end off of Leighton's car after an early spin and put him back in the pack from his front running position. So definitely a bummer for Leighton last week for sure. But he rallied the best he could into this week, hoping to collect some more points and try to chase down our current points leader, Corey Abbott. I'm going to pull up the points now so I have them to reference. Here we go. Okay, so we have, Leighton's currently in P3. And it's going to be interesting because Leighton is at 2,054 points to Corey Abbott's 2,187. Leighton has speed, but he's really going to have to take it to Corey if he wants to make the difference, because we are now into the drop week scenario where all of the first 7 drivers on the scoreboard have raced 6 races. So they'll only switch points with their worst race if they do a better score in this race, so they don't actually increase by the full amount. Whereas drivers that have only run 5 or even 4 races up until this point will be getting the full points to try to catch up. There is currently just over a 300 points gap between Leighton in P3 and Jeffrey Oaks in P4, though. So both drivers having run 6 races, you know that the top 3 are for real. Because we talk about Leighton in P3. We've talked about Corey in P1 already driving the BMW tonight, but let's talk about P2 for a minute, and that is Brian Beeman. That's Mr. Consistency. So Brian currently has 1 win, and he has finished in the top 5 times this season out of the 6, with 27 incidents, which is even lower than Corey's number of incidents so far this season. He's had a very clean streak. He's done a great job of managing the car, taking everything that's given to him, and making very few mistakes of his own. So it will be very exciting to see him chase down Corey, as he is only 46 points behind Corey. So he's definitely got a little ways to go. But if he can make some serious gains over the next couple races, some solid finishes up towards the front, and Corey doesn't improve on his score too much, it is definitely possible for him to pass Corey and take the win away. That could be pretty cool for sure. I'll pop up the results really quick and take a look. So, Thiago, Hernandez has set the fastest lap so far, the 25:199. It was only his first lap, though, as he's currently on lap 2. We'll jump in the passenger seat with him. Do I have my gyro? I do have my gyro. Can't see a whole lot because somebody put a backup camera right in the middle of the screen there, but it sure is fun to hop inside these machines. Man, these things fly. Driving the V10 Huracan GT3 Lamborghini. That steering wheel's got more bells and whistles on it than I know what to do with. I come from oval stuff, so our steering wheels don't have buttons on them, let alone a keyboard. So that's pretty awesome. Fun little rocket ship that he's got going on tonight. As he comes out of the final corner, you'll see the drag race now up the hill, past pit entrance, heading towards the start-finish line here. We'll see what kind of a time he gets. Keep hitting my mute button there, sorry. Holy cow, there it is, 204.887. That is absolutely what Tiago was looking for. Very well into the 204 club. Gonna make Corey work for it for sure. Tiago sets an awesome lap. Corey has since run a 205.2. Got quite a bit of time left though, as he's only on his first scored lap now on lap 2. Terry Brooks on his third lap now with Tiago. Second lap being the 205.131 that you see on the boards. Looking to improve, I'm sure, by a couple tenths if he can. Oh, and he's not going to there. Oh, man. The 77 machine grabs a little bit too much of the side of the track there as he goes into a heavy braking zone, and the car just takes off. That's not what he's looking for, but he is still sitting very happily right now in P2, and I definitely don't think he'd be shoved down too far. But there is a lot of time left, especially for drivers like Jimmy Hayden and his bright red BMW. Up in the Jimmy Hayden photography machine. Great sponsor when you can sponsor yourself. Absolutely love it. Oh, a little bit of a twitch there coming out of the final corner. See, so Jimmy's only scored on his second lap currently. I don't know if he's going to have time for a third one now. Lap 2 was invalidated, so he will stay where he is for the time being. We'll look down the board a little bit further here. Stephen Kelly sitting at the end of pit road here. He's run his first 2 laps, now sits in the pits on his third. No time to finish. Jeff Oakes, though, he might have time to finish, depending upon where he is on the track here, with about 1:20 left on the clock. If he can increase his time, currently sitting in, gosh, what would that be? 8th place. Yep, the number's right down there, Ben. You can read it. And at 2:07.0, did a little bit better in practice. Wouldn't be able to pass Stephen Kelly with his practice time, though, so he's going to have to find some more speed there. Some other drivers in the 207 club. You've got Ben Miller, who has run a 207.2. He is now all done as for his qualifying. Harrison Ellis and his very colorful looking Porsches remind me of those drink cups they would give you in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Had all the purple and blue on them. It looked really cool. He's got a 207.6. He actually just ran a slightly better time on lap 3 with lap 2 being invalidated, but it will not advance his position. He currently sits P10. Logan Key, also a 207s club with a 207.9, and he is in. Oh, did it just switch over on me? Well, I'm not getting my positions anymore. Bummer. I think that's 36, 9, 10. So he's 11th. Will Rempe in 12th. First 208.5. Kyle Foster 208.6. Joe Gregory 208.8. Chris Schuessler 213.1, and Chad Lancaster 213.7. So Chad and Chris a little bit off the pace at the back, but they can stay consistent. take advantage of other people's mistakes like they have all season, could definitely have a great showing either way. So what we're going to do now.
Good luck, all. Have fun.
Yep. Yeah, good luck, everybody. Like I said, if there's anything I can do to help or any call outs that are needed, that's what I'm here for. So please let me know. Thank you. We'll jump in the back here. So obviously the action at the front would probably be what makes it on TV, but I'm not the TV. I am race control. So I have to watch for wrecks or anything happening. We're going to keep an eye on how turn one works its way out. Got our time on the board here, so 15 minutes for this heat race. We'll set the field for qualifying. Qualifying and heat are weighed the same points-wise, and then the feature is actually 10 times more points. Pretty wild scale, but that's how IMSA does it. Joe is ready to go. Fortunately, Chris is not out there right now. Hopefully he makes it in time. There he is. Say, hopefully he doesn't have to start from the pits. And we're getting ready for the green, and there it is. What do we do for a clean start for everybody? A couple cars getting a little shaky. We'll work our way through the field here. Going to be too wide as we're following along here with Logan Key. Hope that he gets through everything okay. Looks like everybody played very nice in T1, which is great. These guys a couple corners to spread out a little bit, and I think they'll be, oh, Harrison gets a little bit snap loose there, but he does save it, which is good. That's going to create a little bit of a gap, though, between Ben Miller and I believe that's Logan at the front of his group there. Yet Logan Key in the 32 machine. Joe Gregory and Will Rempe are going to go too wide into this corner. Up ahead, it's the very tight left-hander. Looks like everybody is going to survive, which is great news. Oops, too many buttons. You're going to see me switch to the pace car a lot. I just don't want him to feel lonely over there, okay? Will Rempe gets a little bit snap loose as well, but he recovers. Our drivers up here are pretty much all single file. We're going to have a little bit of a spin. Stephen Kelly goes around. He is in the grass. Hopefully he can get that car turned and facing the correct direction. He has no cars behind him anymore, so he will be just fine to get back on pace. Yeah, it's one spin and you're off. Absolutely. The track is exceedingly narrow in a lot of spots, and you're lucky to spin in this scenario where you don't hit a wall or anything. Some of these snap spins have you going right for a tire barrier with absolutely zero things to do about it. On board currently with a Leighton who came out of the whole P5. I believe he is dropped now to P6. Somebody up here is on the move. That's Jimmy Hayden, starting 6, now finding his way up to P3. As we will come across the line to complete the first lap. Pretty clean looking lap. We'll go back through the field here just real quick. Make sure everybody's still got all their car pieces together. No damage on Stephen Kelly's machine, so he will do just fine. Probably a little frustrated with himself, but an honest mistake that we've all made. No worries there. He'll bounce back very easily, and the feature is 40 minutes, so you have time, buddy. Up here a little bit, Tiago trying to work over Kerry. These guys fighting for the lead right now. Gary Brooks taking the defensive as Tiago is wanting a piece of him in the V10 of that Lambo, screaming, saying, Kerry, let me go. Kerry holds a very sharp line there. Been great for him. Kerry has yet to find himself in victory lane this season, but has come out so close so many times in a few races that could have been like Watkins Glen with that very early feature spin in the uphill S's in the first lap, and his absolute thunderous comeback up halfway through the field after having a black flag for damage on the first lap. Jimmy catching a little bit of grass there. Got to be careful he doesn't snap that car sideways. Corey Abbott, P4, looking on to this now very tight pack of 3 cars at the front. Now, Kerry had actually qualified second, and Thiago had the pole, but something has happened that has allowed Kerry to sneak past Thiago. But I think Jimmy Hayden is definitely our candidate for biggest mover so far, up 3 spots. I'm going to verify that, though, before I start yapping. Joe Gregory is also up 3 spots into 11th. But some great racing going on so far. Very clean racing. We see the intervals pop in here now. Chad has actually had a little bit of an oopsie as well, it looks like. But the car seems to be just A-okay. He's fallen a good 36 seconds off of the leader, Gary Brooks now, but his car is very fit to continue.
Sorry, Brian, I put your hand on the way down the road.
Uh-oh. Had a little bit of an incident at the front here. Let's see.
Yeah, no problem. I saw you go out there, and I tried to stop, but
Oh, a Leighton. Oh, man. That is just super unfortunate for both drivers. Brian, an innocent bystander there, and Leighton's not so thrill ride. That's super unfortunate. And Leighton's bad luck strikes again early here in the heat race. Hopefully he can limp his way back to the pits, get his quick repair knocked out, and then get back out here and gain some points back if he can. Will Rempe's going to go out into the grass just ahead of him, but should recover. Take a look at Brian's machine. Doesn't look like he's really got a whole lot of damage. I think he kind of lucked out with a Leighton hitting him square in the door. Probably the least likely place on a car to hurt it when it gets hit, as it is very far outside any sort of aerodynamic, with the front end catching all of the air, or the wing in the back, the diffuser, and the steering is so long as he hit him in the door. So I think, yeah, Brian's going to stay out. He's doing A-okay, so we'll keep an eye on his recovery now, as he's going to find himself, I think, all the way back. P10 is right in front of him. Joe Gregory and Harrison Ellis are going to go 2 by 2 into turn 1. Joe to the inside, Harrison holding him very honest to the bottom. Still too wide. Now Joe is going to take the position over. Harrison definitely didn't hand it over, though. That's great racing between those two. A little bit further up the field here, Ben Miller having a quiet day, but for him, that's usually a good thing. Currently sitting P7. Going to chase down Logan Key and Jeffrey Oakes, 2 Six Sigma colored machines. Six Sigma cars are starting to multiply, man, and we're not upset about it. They look fantastic. So they had one painted up how Kerry's is, just compete in the Daytona 24. And the 5 drivers who I believe all currently are in the race field tonight. So Chad Lancaster, Chris Schuessler, Joe Gregory, Logan Key, and Kerry Brooks, making up that team of 5, collectively finished P5 out of an entire field of GT3 cars. So that was really awesome for them. Shout out to Six Sigma Gold Team. Their amazing finish. Six Sigma Black, if you will, running the Murdoch's Garage team there with Brian Beeman, Will Rempe, Leighton Norgard, Corey Abbott, and William White also competed. I'm trying to recall exactly where I believe they were P8 or P7 in class. They should probably will remind me, but they had a
I
full
didn't
field.
hit you, did I, Gary? Right?
No, sir. No, I just overcooked it.
Oh, Kerry Brooks, you hear over the radio there, Jimmy asking if he had hit Kerry. I kind of want to flip back really quick and just take a check on what exactly had happened here. Jimmy definitely applying some pressure here. Kerry just a little bit too wide. But Jimmy, who had qualified P6, now finding his way all the way up into P2 with his sights set on Tiago as we wind down 8.5 minutes past
Did I
at the
hit you
line.
there, Logan?
Back up a little bit here. You did not, Ben. As Logan and Ben are going to fight it out now for P6. These two always seem to find themselves together on the track. They have some pretty crazy battles, so it'll be fun to watch these two go at it here as we start on the second half of the race. Oh, Jimmy Hayden, that's not what we wanted to see. I wasn't expecting to see the red car all of a sudden. Jimmy Hayden finds himself back here for this fight for sixth. Gonna keep watching. I need that replay feature. Let's take a peek at what happened to Jimmy here. Whoops, wrong button. He's gonna come down into this corner. Oh, and the BMW is just gonna get super loose in the tail end. And he is gonna be out in the sand trap looking for a way to get back out there. Is now trying to navigate his way past Ben Miller to try to start regaining some of those positions lost. So, with the big shuffle, you're going to see Kerry Brooks now moving to P2. Right behind him, Corey Abbott, and now in P3. Jeff Oakes has found himself all the way up to P4, just being Mr. Quiet, Mr. Consistency, Mr. Let everybody else make their mistakes and I will prosper. Had an awesome two-wide finish at the end of the race with Joe Gregory at Daytona last week. Barely getting eked out in the end. 0.003 second difference on the board between those two machines. Was pretty happy about it. Then ended up with a penalty, but we took care of that in the interest of it not making a whole lot of sense for what he did. So that finish stayed. Unfortunately, that didn't give him the position on Joe, but he still got to have his finish door-to-door with him count, which is awesome. Tons of screenshots. The Road League channel in here, or in the Discord, of the crazy finishes that happened both in the heat and the feature last week, as Daytona, with its aerodynamic requirement and long straightaways requiring lots of straight line time. I guess words are getting difficult right now. So essentially, there was a lot of drafting battles as they closed in on the finish, and it was super fun to watch. So awesome for Jeff, getting in the swing of things here. So all those incidents going on behind him, Tiago is still P1, and that Lamborghini still looks fantastic. Doing a heck of a job up there. And he's done this before, actually, at least once this season. Is it only once? No, it's twice. It is twice this season that Tiago has won. The first race that he was in with us, let me see, what week was it? Yeah, I believe that was at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park there. So week 3, Tiago showed up, waved at everybody, put on that gentleman smile of his, and then absolutely smoked the entire field. So that was super awesome to see him just come out and dominate in his first race. And since then, as you know, been off or on, had great luck and finished well, or had terrible luck and not so much. But he, unfortunately, coming in at
We
week
can hit
3.
each other a few more times if you want.
Oh boy. My goodness.
Dude, we're not even on the track. You want to me again?
Well, that was fun. Jimmy and Ben Miller having it out for each other there. Go back and see exactly what had happened here. I'm not 100% certain. But Jimmy is just desperately trying to get around Ben after his spin that he had here. He gets a little loose. And not giving him a lot of space. Jimmy really kind of just all over him if he can be. A little honest mistake there from Ben getting a little bit loose, and they're both getting very, very tight with each other here. It's very intense racing, but Ben kind of swings on him on the straightaway there a little bit. That being the piste resistant right there. For sure. Definitely something to look at. I don't think there was a whole lot of intent in there right up
Is
into
the grid determined by this race or the qualifying? I forget.
heat determines the grid for the feature, buddy.
Can we invert today?
I would have if you didn't crash in the bus stop last week.
10-4.
Sorry, man. So, all jokes aside there, definitely going to have to look at some of that post-race. Probably the first actual drama we've had all season, so need to figure out how we're going to handle that. But, you know, like I said, I don't think there was a ton of intent in most of that scenario. Jimmy obviously trying to impose his will on Ben there with the speed that he had. But Ben not really giving an inch, standing his ground, as is his right. And then when Jimmy clears him, goes into the corner, and they have some contact. But I believe this is Thiago coming to the line here. He will collect P1 in the heat race. Gary Brooks P2, Corey Abbott up to P3. Jeffrey Oakes will survive to P4. Logan Key now up to P5 with Brian Beeman in P6. Joe Gregory in P7. Stephen Kelly in P8. Harrison Ellis is going to come across the line in P9. Kyle Foster is going to do it P10. Like Jimmy is going to limp his way back up across in P11. I think Layton is going to do it in P12. Because Ben would have been 12. Now Ben will be P13. Schuster will be P14 with some Pretty hardy damage there. I don't know if he got into an incident or what. It's unfortunate either way, though. Glad he could race on to finish there. Rempe is bringing it home now in P15 with a very, very clean looking car for P15. I don't know if he had to come into the pits and use one of his faster pairs or if
That's what I get for trying to keep it wide, then.
Chad, unfortunately, P16 2 laps down. I'm sorry I missed that, Chris. What happened?
No, I was joking around with Ben Miller. I said that's what I get for trying to keep it wide.
Ah, 10-4. Chris.
Good race, guys. That was fun.
One of these races
Oh,
I won't spend more than that videos.
spin. Isn't it, Chris?
Hey, that's my thing. Don't steal it.
Ugh. So we've got just a little bit over 3 minutes left here in the feature. Did have a little scuffle with Ben and Jimmy there in the middle of the race. Just give me some deep breaths, guys, and let's not go any further on anything that happened. If we have issues, let's talk about it post race. I haven't had to do anything as race control yet this season on those Lions. Please don't make me start now. Um, we're just here to have fun, so let's do that and get through it. Uh, have a great feature. 40 minutes, plenty of time to get back where you think you should be on the track if you had a bad heat. So no worries, guys.
Does anybody in here use Crew Chief? Yep. Have you had any issues since it updated yesterday? I ran an update last week. There was one yesterday. I haven't done it yet. Did a race last night, and every time I crossed the finish line in like P16, he would say P11 or P12, and then with 2 to go, he threw the white flag, and then he did the white flag again. So I don't know. No, I haven't seen anything like that.
Do you have telemetry, Joe, that you could reference to make sure what is actually correct versus what he's telling you?
Yeah, I got the relative of that tells me what position I'm in.
Right. I'm just, if it's giving you poor lap information or whatever, you're more than welcome to ask if there's anything I can give you that it's not giving you correctly or whatever.
Well, I did 2 races last night. In the first race, it was fine, and then when I went to the second race, it just started screwing up. So far, it's been right tonight.
Mine's working just fine. It told me I wasn't going to win.
Well, now I know it's lying to you.
Joe, I'm really glad you didn't take us too wide through the kink on that first lap there.
I don't even want to go one wide through there.
All right, guys, 40 minutes is a long time. You are going to have to stop mandatory for fuel at some point. So just keep that in mind. But good luck, have fun, and we'll see you on the other side. Oh, Chad, don't you be lagging on me.
Green flag, green
Not
flag.
allowed.
Oh, I'm going to jump the start this time.
Steve, is that having you come down pit road or something?
It's telling me I gotta go into the pits. It's a hold for 35 seconds. I accidentally put myself in gear before the start. I did only move like a foot.
Tell you what, to hell with that. Just give me a drive-through. Don't stop in the pits. I will clear the penalty.
Appreciate it.
I didn't like that. Nope. The penalty still displaying, Steve. It's not clearing for me for some reason.
Yeah, it's still showing me a black flag. I'll let you know when I'm in the pits.
Yeah, I'm watching you. Just hoping it lets me clear it. I've tried like 7 times.
Yeah, it's clear now.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, it was, you didn't get any advantage out of that, so that's kind of horse crap.
Yeah, it was my fault.
No worries, man. Go get him. Good luck. So I really didn't get to see the rest of the start of that race. Sorry about that, guys. Kind of perusing through the field now as you see Jimmy Hayden has chunked, get him out of his positions back now up to P6, bearing down on Jeff Oakes in P5. And Gary Brooks has stolen the lead again from Thiago. I don't know how he does it, and I keep missing the pass. Very frustrating, but Kerry is out in front. Never by much. Thiago won't let him get away. But the Lambo has given the Porsche some fresh air for the momentary. We'll see how that goes. But so far, so good. Up at the front, no real issues. Double checking on incident points. So Joe has 2. Looks like Logan also has 2. Stephen Kelly has the 1 off track there. He's going to be fighting, unfortunately, quite the uphill battle with his little jump there.
Oh, that was crazy.
Oh, Kyle, no.
I saw my light flash before my eyes right there.
Yeah, sorry, fellas.
Oh. Fortunately, Kyle. Ugh. It's not fun. I don't know what Harrison's car looks like. Looks like Joe has a little bit of damage there on his left rear side. You can see a little bit more of the tire on the left there. Harrison is heftily damaged in both the front and the rear. He is definitely going to have to take a look at that. Survive long enough to get to the pit window. Gotta snap out of it. Sorry, guys. So Leighton got himself up in P8 now for the most part, which is good. Going to be slowly storming his way back to the front if he can find some consistency. Jimmy Hayden still now back up to P5, starting to make some serious headway on this front group. Still led by Kerry, but it is a very contested P1 fight here with Thiago trying to scrap as well. If he can get around that 77, who, I mean, again, at some point there is a pass where Kerry is getting around Thiago. I've not seen one yet. I am half tempted to rewind back to look for it, but I just feel like it's a little bit too far of a jump. But it is currently that close. 4/10 on a straightaway, a lot closer in the corners. These guys battle onwards. We're only 6.5 minutes or so into this 40-minute race, so there is a lot of time left. Lots of room for activities, as they say, so it should be fun. I also see that Chad has dropped out. That's unfortunate. He wasn't having the smoothest of nights, but been cool to see him stick around either way. Very unfortunate, Chad, but thanks for hopping in at least, brother. Appreciate you. Super tight pack here, and as these guys race each other, Jimmy's only going to get closer and closer and closer. But there's Brian staring down. I didn't even talk about this. So Brian right now is staring at the back end of the guy who is beating him by 47 points in the championship right now. And oh man, what he would do to change something about that. Brian wants to win so bad. Just doesn't think he's got it in him, especially after seeing Corey lay down his rocket ship laps in qualifying and practice even. But now he stares him down. I mean, he's there. There's a lot of time left in the race, but There are no real disadvantages to the 41 machine at this point, so it'll be interesting to see what Brian can accomplish here over the next 30 plus minutes of white knuckle racing. And we'll back up here a little bit to Leighton now trying to work over Logan Key. Goes to the outside. Looks like Logan is actually going to back out and give it to him. No, Logan just fires back. Leighton has a terrible turn. See if Leighton can make the move here. Let's flip to TV camera style so we can watch it like we're on TV. Grab your popcorn, folks. Settle in. Got another half an hour of gasoline fuel. I don't even know where nitrogen came from. Action. Yeah, put me up here. Why am I even doing this? Unbelievable. Fantastic drive from these two, though. Leighton really looking to make some headway here, and Logan, who had an awesome showing at the D24 and the Porsche Six Sigma Gold team run there. First endurance event ever, man, and he was rubbing elbows at certain times with the guys running the fastest laps on the track, doing an absolutely fantastic job, staying cool under pressure. Just did everything right, man. So super happy for him. Glad that he got to experience that. And all the other guys here in the server that got a chance to run for the first time, or maybe even for the 10th time, an endurance event, as Leighton is going to put a little muscle onto Logan's wide turn there, and Leighton does clear him. Can't say enough how good of a job that whole team did, so that's awesome for them. We'll check back in now with Ben Miller in P8. Had a interesting heat, a little run-in with Jimmy, but now back out in the open. And I mean, he qualified 9th on speed. Finished 13th in the heat. Now he sits 8th, so I don't know if he's happy with that or not. I think I would be. Definitely improved on where he started after all the craziness, but Ben is very competitive and definitely wants more from himself. Just needs to continue to put in the work and the practice, and he will for sure someday become something great. He is well along from where he has started, that's for sure. William Rempe now back in P9. Brian's partner in crime, the Murdoch Garage Mercs. At least they're Mercs this week. Sometimes they're Porsches. Sometimes they're Mercs. You never know. A bit loose there coming onto the main straight, but he's having a great race. Behind him, Joe Gregory. His early race incident, I don't know, like I said, I'm not sure exactly where he collected that damage. The left rear, but he has collected it somewhere, so hope to see that clear up for him soon here. Maybe get in the pit window, pop a fast repair, get that arrow back, and fly. A car that looks very similar right behind him. Jeff Oakes, P11, recovering from his early incidents there. I'm not 100% sure if I can hammer down what happened. A really slow lap 4. I don't know if he spun or exactly what had happened there, but he is now all the way back in P11. So definitely a little bit of a fall from grace there as he started all the way up in P4. So hopefully he can work his way back. Behind him, Stephen Kelly, who had a little bit of an incident there on the start where he accidentally popped the car into first gear a little bit too early, rolled on him, causing iRacing to give him a black flag that just wouldn't quit. He negotiated a deal to have him just do a drive-through, and then iRacing finally let me clear his penalty. Hoping he can put together quite the comeback. That'd be nice for him. Get his 91 machine back up there in a great spot. Chris Usler, 61 Golf Porsche. Been pretty stout here in P13, so qualified 15th, finished 14th in the heat. Now he's 13th, so up and up for the 61 machine. Again, just taking advantage of some misfortune from some of the other drivers. Had that late spin in the heat race trying to give Ben some space in the kink. Didn't really work out all that well for him, but he is now back on it and looking to see if he can get some more spots. So power to Chris. And here's Harrison after that spin late in the heat race. Sets him far back in the field. Now he is currently 14th. Feature. No, I'm sorry. This would be.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man.
I think I need some new underwear after that.
That wall got angled pretty quick.
Yeah, that was a close one too, but definitely not Will's fault. Intentions, I should say. But good recovery either way. Like the 55 machine is still in a good spot, so go check in on our leaders here. Looks like Kerry has given his lead back up to Tiago and is now sitting P2 with BMW noises right behind him from Corey. Brian right here as well, and Jimmy, who is close.
Thanks, Will.
Can't quite see him. Jimmy obviously struggling a little bit here with the inconsistency of the BMW, giving him a little bit of trouble as it caused him earlier in the heat race as well, sending him towards the back, middle to back, I should say, where him and Ben Miller danced for a little bit. But it's still a tight 1, 2, 3, 4 at the front here. Tiago, Kerry, Corey, Brian making the front pack now as they are going to be running down Kyle Foster. The lead pack here. Kyle trying to get his race back together after narrowly avoiding Ben Miller missing his braking point. Kyle missing his braking point, that is, and almost taking Ben out in the process, but at the last moment intelligently flipping the car to the left. So he didn't hit Ben. Unfortunately, that sent him into the sand trap and then inevitably the tire wall and absolutely destroying the Ford GT. So he needed a tow and a fresh car. Now he is staring down Tiago, looking to let him go.
Thank you.
Well done, Kyle Foster Moore there to let guys go in a way that didn't really slow him down too much, but most importantly, didn't slow these guys. Well, I shouldn't say most importantly, but didn't slow these guys down either. And guys, that's an art form, something to really think about when you're racing. You know, drivers, maybe your car is damaged, maybe their car is damaged, or maybe there's some sort of disconnect in a multi-class or whatever. But you know, racing everybody hard and only, you know, opening up on the straightaways and some weird spots, not always the best plan. I definitely don't recommend, you know, trying to give it away in an awkward spot, kind of like what Chris tried to do with Ben Miller there and getting spun himself around, you know, on the track. But there's an art to it, kind of like what Kyle just did there. So that was, again, hats off to him. See how this all plays out as we continue on now after the line. 16, just under 17 minutes, so over 17 minutes now into this 40-minute race. So our elapsed time is about a minute off. That's how long it took the grid to launch. Looking good from these guys. Sure, close to catching somebody else. They're a little ways away, but they do have Harrison and Will Remp be up ahead there, so that's something they'll be expecting here sooner than later, but not for the moment. So let's back on up. Oh no, back on up a little bit here to see the crinkled mess to the right side of Jimmy's car. Man, that's not good. Holy smokes. Ugh. Looks like a bent wheel too. Lots of camber in the right rear. Definitely not how he wanted to handle this, and now he's got a latent breathing down his neck trying to take P5 away. That's a tough race for Jimmy, guys. Really tough race for Jimmy. Hoping that he can recover soon. Ben Miller now finds himself up to P7. Taking a position away from, I believe, Joe Gregory. Possibly Jeff Oakes as well. I'm not sure how that all shook out. But Stephen Kelly got himself back up in P10, man. That little 91 machine is flying. He recovers from that incident we mentioned at the beginning of the race there, so good for him. Logan P11. Chris P12. Still not a lot of change in the back here, guys. Everybody keeping it pretty clean and shiny side up, which is not a bad thing. Sure. It's not Wreckfest after all. We enjoy our close racing. We enjoy our clean racing too, so I have some questions. I think I know the answer to them. I mean, there they are right there. Tiago and Kerry popping into pit road together. 1-2. Gonna see who wins this fight off. There goes moving his wheel into position. Tiago's gone.
Thankfully, I stopped in time. That was supposed to miss my point.
Kerry is still. Uh-oh. Not sure what's happening there, but Gary Brooks is still sitting on pit road, man. He's lost a ton of time now to Tiago. Oh, gosh. That's not good. Not sure what's up with that. Hey, Parker. Yeah, I know it's you, buddy. That nobody else uses that photo. I love that photo. Pit rules, there really isn't any rules. The only thing is that the cars are running 50% fuel. So everybody's got to come take some fuel before the end of the race or they won't make it. But there is nothing mandatory that has to happen in the pits by any means.
Thanks, Chris.
Still not 100% sure what had happened there with Kerry. I'm really bummed for him. He was fighting for the lead there, but that is an extremely costly pit stop there. Gosh, it'll be interesting to see how that works out for the 77 machine. Let's see, he's even a solid, 10 to 15 plus seconds behind Jimmy, who was nowhere near Tiago. Yeah, that's correct, Parker. There is the cars run a fixed setup. I'm not sure which compounds they run. I didn't even know there was different compounds for the GT3s at this point. But no, everybody's in the same stuff. All the cars run medium downforce sprint setup, and they every car is at 50% fuel, so I'll have to pit. So we've got some shakes up here. Let's shakes up. We've got some shake ups. That's on the wrong word. And English is really hard, guys. You just like.
Ben, can we try this race again?
I like it.
I'll vote for that. Maybe restart from the heat.
You guys are killing me.
I did crash in qualifying too.
I just got Ferrari brain from driving it for 8 hours last weekend.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. I can't do that, but I'm sorry that you're not having good races. Good news is, if you don't have a good race, that means that somebody else probably is. Well, I guess you could think of it like that.
But that doesn't do me any good.
I was waiting for you to say that. I thought Jimmy would first, honestly, but yeah, that's fair enough. There, unfortunately, I cannot help you. So. We do actually have 2 race do-overs allowed per season. They're called drop weeks. That, unfortunately, is the best I can offer at this time.
Yeah, but I missed the first 2 races, so can I get 4?
Yeah, well, those were significantly worse than today. You didn't score any points then, so those are your drop weeks.
I'm pretty sure you do have yellow flags.
I do, in fact, yes. Oh, these guys are fun. So Brian and Corey have yet to pit. Tiago and pretty much just Tiago, yeah, is the only car left from that lead pack now. As Gary Brooks has fallen, gosh, 56, 06, 16, 20, 40 seconds, man. Gosh. I'm going to have to poke his brain after the race. I don't want to keep radio chattering, but I very much would like to know what happened in the pit stall of the 77 car as to why he ended up taking so long in the pits. But this will be interesting to see with the shortcut that Tiago had. Now Corey and Brian are coming down the pits together. We'll see where they filter out in relation to the lightning fast 23 Lambo. You see now Tiago just has a couple corners left to navigate here before he is on his way up the hill. It's gonna be interesting. Corey and Brian are not moving yet. Here comes Tiago. I think Tiago's gonna put a world of hurt on him. Nope. Brian's away. Corey is away as well. And Tiago to the outside. He will clear Corey, but Brian pulls away. He made up time. I don't know how Brian did it. I don't know if he short fueled or what he ended up doing there, but Brian Beeman has pulled into the lead by probably a good like 2.5 seconds now. So that's pretty gosh darn impressive. And with only about 15 or so minutes left in the race, Brian's in a great spot right now. He's definitely where he wants to be. Corey falling all the way back now to P3. Tiago in the balance here in P2. Just another reason I really wish that Kerry made it through. That would have been 4 cars there, all absolutely on top of each other. That's too bad. Leighton isn't too far off of these guys. Probably a good 10 seconds or so behind Corey, give or take. He is looking to create some heck of a comeback. I bet he hopes those guys all bunch up as soon as possible and start racing really hard. He has his opportunity to swoop in and try to score himself some more points though. But hey, 4th, not too bad. And Ben Miller now currently still in P5. I believe he has pit cycled as well. So Ben
Thanks, Chris.
taking huge advantage of mistakes made by other drivers in the future, move himself all the way up to P5. Got to be happy with that. But like I said, still got. Actually, I'm sorry, wasn't 15. It was 25. So about 20 more minutes or so, maybe 21. Well, hello there, Reed. How goes it? Welcome. Mind my terrible voice and inability to use English words to create sentences tonight. Yeah, it's not just tonight, though. Kerry was really close to Jeff. Oh, yeah, I guess Jeff pitted last lap, so hoping everything will sort. So now we'll see actually where everybody really is on the track. Okay, so yeah, that's Kerry, only about 3 seconds or so now behind Ben Miller. And Joe Gregory 7 or so seconds behind him. Stephen Kelly's got himself all the way up to 8th. Oh, Steve, that's awesome. Great recovery from that 91 machine. Jeff Oakes now in P9, Harrison up to P10. Logan, Kyle, Remp. Chris back where he started, and I believe, unfortunately, that Jimmy is going to stay right where he's at. I think he's one too many mistakes for his own taste tonight, which is unfortunate, but hey, some pretty awesome driving, man, when he can keep the car on the track. That BMW is flying. Just got to work on the consistency a little bit, don't we all? All good, though. Jump back on board here. Gonna follow Tiago for a little bit as he eyes up P1 of Ryan Beeman, and he's got a mirror full of Corey Abbott in P3. 1, 2, 3 as they stand. Burke, Lambo, BMW. 1, 2, 3. And they're all going to have to navigate Chris Schuessler here in a moment. Keep an eye on Chris. Not catching him in a weird spot. I know he wants nothing to do with negatively affecting other people's races, so he's going to be looking to try to get the heck out of the way as the train of top 3 come barreling on through. But I think Chris will be able to make it through, hopefully, this winding turn here, and then maybe give him a little bit of...
To the left. Thank you. To the left.
Well, that was very kind of him to give him all that space. Very cool, though. Very cool. What a guy. I'd race with him. What else we got going on here? Oh, no. Will's back in the pits, and that is not how that Merc is supposed to look. Uh-oh. Not sure how recent that was. Let's see if we can back it up a little bit and find out what happened if I don't have to go too far.
Thanks, Joe.
Oh, he just catches the grass, and then, yeah, you're just for a ride at that point. Ugh. Super unfortunate, Will. Oh, Jeff. Oh, Jeff, that was a great save, man. That was awesome.
Such a good corner going to.
Could have been worse. I've seen that. Nice job, man.
Sure that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sometimes we do catch things. Sometimes we don't. But hey, listen, you know, all in fun, and that's what replays are for. So I get to go back afterwards and pick out the cool parts. It's a fun time. Yeah, so Steve is actually up to P7 now, and Kerry Brooks has found Ben Miller. Boy, oh boy, this battle shall be legendary. Ben Miller, I think, really enjoys being in P5, and I think Kerry kind of wants it too. So this will be interesting. And you see Kyle Foster coming out of the pits just ahead of those guys with his blue Ford GT. He's actually just gonna pull off to the side and let these two duke it out. Letter to Ford, get this Mustang in GT3 class ASAP, please. Thank you. I would love to see a new updated Ford
I'll leave the left side open.
this class. Looks like Chris is going to be letting some more folks go by. Let's see. Oh,
Get back on track.
oh boy. Oh boy. I think Chris was just a little bit slower than Leighton was expecting. Unfortunately, it is very hard to break in the middle of the corners here. But man, got a couple really close battles I got to keep an eye on here. So this is Tiago chasing down Brian Beeman for P1. And I also have to take a look at Kerry and Ben Miller, who are just as close, fighting for P5. Never a dull moment in these leagues, guys. You won't quit. I'm telling you what, you always have great races in here for multiple positions on track at the same time. It looks like Joe and Steve were close, but I think Steve has since taken off as well there, so that's not quite as close of a fight. Uh-oh. Oh no, Logan took off too. It's not good. Did he crash, possibly? Oh yeah. He's got a lot of damage there, buddy. Fortunate. Ugh. Oh man, it clipped that little out hang there. He almost had it gathered. That's unfortunate. Tough break. Was not having the greatest of races, but was definitely enjoying his company. So that's unfortunate, but hey, understandable. Sometimes it's just not your night. Tiago is all over the back. Oh, that 41 machine. Brian Beeman wants so badly to get this win. It would put a dent in Corey's lead over him in the points, and he wants it, and he needs it, and he craves it. But Tiago is going to make a huge move to the inside out of the sweeping right-hander and just clear him for the kink. What a move. Wow. Wound the corner up and just slingshotted him like he was put out of a cannon. That's unbelievable. Taking the defensive line here. I wish I knew corner numbers. I could call things out. It's the right-hander with the sand thing. Yeah, but no, really good racing. Brian's really going to have to keep the pressure up and the throttle down here on Tiago if he wants to get this position back. A good exit here could definitely put him in a good spot. If he gets it in the draft, medium downforce, so the draft is a big factor with these cars. Is he close enough? At the line, we are 36 minutes into this show. Probably another 2, maybe 3 laps, depending upon where they cross. I'm going to go with 2, though. Oh, man, Brian wants this so bad. See how hard the 41 pushes now. We'll see if Corey can manage to make up any ground on him. Wasn't really catching him before, though, so I don't think Corey's going to manage to get too much closer unless something changes on the pace, though. Brian is now going to be pushing a little bit out of his comfort zone, I believe, if he wasn't already, to try to get back around Tiago. Looks like Kerry Brooks has managed to navigate Ben Miller as well. Hard to cover both, but hard to look away from this one, man. I probably would have said that about either or if I saw him, but it's good racing. So we're really going to keep a close eye on these two. Gonna do a quick through the field first, just to make sure everybody's okay. So Brian's good, Corey in P3, Leighton recovering all the way up to P4. Great race for him. Chris is not P5, he's P11. He's a lap down. Still looking pretty sharp. Chris Carey in P5. Ben Miller in P6. Kyle Foster in P12. At least one lap down, I believe. Yep, just one lap down. So him and Chris will be fighting for position here soon.
Thanks, buddy.
Stephen Kelly in P7. Another awesome comeback story for him. Joe Gregory in P8. Jeffrey Oaks in P9, just taking the position away from Harrison, who's going to go for a ride in the sand trap. But he is going to get back on track, it looks like, with no issue. Which is a good thing. The pace car not racing for position, unfortunately. A couple cars sitting in the pits. And that was Through the Fields, brought to you by my ability to left click efficiently. Brian Beeman now all over the back end of Tiago. It is the white flag lap. They're calling it. 1 lap to go. Brian to the outside, putting pressure on Tiago. Nobody's home right now, but we'll see. He's got a whole lap left. This whole 2 minutes. Lots of corners, lots of opportunities, but Brian is going to have to find some speed that Tiago has had up on him all race. This is going to be a huge uphill battle for the 41 machine. Trying to get all of the draft he can off of the back end of the Lambo, trying to stay as close as possible for any slip up from Tiago, as Brian's taking an extremely wide entry line there, trying to fire out of the corner, kicking, fighting, everything he could do to get this Merc to try to get around that Lamborghini. They're sweeping right-handed corner here now. I'm sorry, I lost myself on the track here. We've got the 90-degree left-hander, and then the sweeping right. There we go. There's the 90-degree.
Left side carry.
Looks like Tiago is putting a little bit of a distance here on Brian, but if Brian can have a good corner, it only really takes one here, as they're still very close. It's the Brian Brigade, absolutely will. Brian using up all of the track and more there. Everything he can to try to chase down this Lambo. I'm telling you, he is running out of time, though. If he's going to do something, he's going to have to do it now.
And I'll give you space on the left side.
Going to come down to the final straightaway. Is he close enough? That is the question. TB3 here to see them as they come up the hill. I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't believe so. I think it's going to be Tiago taking home P1, Brian Beeman in P2.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not the
I don't
lap.
think there's any way I was getting around you. You had more pace, but that was fun.
Oh my goodness, where's Corey? There's Corey, P3. Jesus. Corey in P3. Leighton is going to bring it home. It looks like
on fire a bit.
You made me fucking work for that.
P4.
Sorry, Ben.
This stream is not for kids. I checked that box. You're good. Oh,
You
goodness.
made me hecking work for that.
Yeah.
I still don't know why my pit was so much faster.
I took a full tank. I forgot to check how much time we had left.
Okay, because yeah, when it said I was in first, I was like, wait, where's Tiago at?
Hey guys, just make sure that you let everybody finish up their race before you're too much back and forth, okay? Still got a few drivers on the track here now, finishing up. Yeah, no, totally, Parker, totally sweet rides. I mean, there isn't a car in the field I didn't like looking at, to be honest with you. Jeff Oaks coming to the line. He will finish. Like these three are going to be the pits. All right, guys, I think everybody but Harrison is finished, and it looks like Harrison might need a push. I don't know if he's coasting. What's up?
Yeah, can you guys get out and push me? That'd be great.
great race, everyone. Super fun. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt the post-race chatter there, Tiago and Brian. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody could focus enough to finish up what they were doing. But it was absolutely awesome. Awesome battles. Really cool feature. As always, you guys put on an absolute show, and I have no idea where to point the camera. It's brilliant racing. Thank you. And that, ladies and gentlemen,
Good racing up front, guys. I wish
is
I
what
was
it's all
up there
about.
with you, but I'm just terrible here. And by the way, you cannot cut the grass to go into the pit. Just want you to know.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that was a rough one for me.
Harrison
but
Ellis.
I did get in the 207, so for me,
Pushing,
that was pretty good.
getting pushed by Tiago.
Thank you for the push across the line. Holy cow.
Practiced all of Daytona for that.
What a guy. He can win races and he can push people across the line. Love it.
A real life Lightning McQueen. Wish I could have got a race in there with you, Kyle. I just made too many small mistakes in the wrong spots.
Same here.
Man, oh man, oh man.
I'm so used to rolling starts that I just threw it in gear when the race started, and yeah.
Crazy,
I'm
crazy,
looking
crazy.
forward to Fuji, though. I've never raced there, like most of these tracks.
Don't get distracted by the beautiful scenery. Yeah, I haven't done anything there. I don't even own the track yet.
The very popular pick. And having driven it in other games, not iRacing, I've quite enjoyed it. So, Brian, I think you'll have a lot of fun there.
I hear GT4s are there this week, so I might have to hop in on that and at least get the track down.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, that was super fun. Like I said, I really enjoyed that. I think Carrie and I and some of the other admins are going to sit down and start talking about plans for next season and all that. So I would very much appreciate you guys to keep any feedback in mind that you have with this league. Any ideas you have on how we can improve it, things you like, things you didn't like. Um, Obviously, you don't have to just spew them back at me right now, but I think I'm going to create some sort of open-ended forum or chat and allow you guys to kind of give your 2 cents because, I mean, it's a league, but this has been created uh, by a lot of it's everybody. I mean, the community molds the server, the community creates the leagues, and changes them into what they are. So I've been racing with you guys since a lot of the stuff we did over in Downshift and now into here and everything. And I know we didn't have GT cars over there, but it remains the same. Uh, I always appreciate the feedback. Had a blast. You guys are going to enjoy the replay on this one if you get a chance. Besides the fact that I just can't seem to form any sentences tonight. Um, it was a wild one. So thank you all and keep in touch. Thank you.
Can we get a better race control for next season?
Outside the budget, sorry. You're stuck with me.
You can't upgrade on perfection.
Alternatively, I'm all you get for $0. So that's also a thing.
And it's perfection. Thanks for everything, Ben.
You too, brother. I'm telling you right now, Tiago, if you actually start at the beginning of the season next season and run all the races, if we do GT3 again, everybody else is probably going to be a little scared. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, folks, I think that is going to do it for tonight. Couldn't possibly have painted a better picture there in terms of how this one went. This was just an absolutely epic race here. I'm going to fast forward the best I can to get to the point where you can see. Oh, man, this is awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, it's so cool. Good stuff. Well, hey, uh, if there was ever a better outro screen, I haven't found one. So, yeah, and yeah, sorry, I have you guys to catch up in chat. So, well, I'm glad you can have a smidgen of happiness, but get your butt in here next week for Fuji. Still help me. And Parker, yes, Kyle Foster has the Ford GT. It's the only GT car he has. And since he's a little tight on cash, that's what he's been running all season. He's been to every race, and he's done a great job. But we allow every car that is eligible in the GT3 category, and that is one of them. So hats off to him for bringing that oldie but a goodie. It's cool to see a Ford. I can't wait for the Mustang to get here. Um, but yeah, guys, until next time, thank you all for coming. Please, 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 if you're new, if you're seeing this past, present, future, and you want to get in on some of this racing, or you just want to be able to chat with these guys, talk about how you build rigs, talk about troubleshooting issues that you've had in your sim racing, Assetto Corsa, Gran Turismo, iRacing, everything that's got wheels on it. Please, please, please just come join us and have a great time. Introduce yourself in the chats. We have such a wonderful group of people here. It's a blast. So please come on in and say hi. If you'd like to run with us, you're more than welcome to. If you'd just like to hang out, more than welcome to do that too. But for myself here, Ben Ruprack, and everybody at Six Sigma Sim Racing, good night, and we will see you all tomorrow when PTM Racing TV and our buddy Chris Shiver takes you on an adventure, some Xfinity cars that are going to, let me pull up the schedule really quick. They're going to Bristol. Oh, Bristol Motor Speedway. So, going to be a lot of fun, guys. Till next time, have a great night. We'll see you.